Hey Kevin, so I'm curious, when you had the circumstances of your last fight, I mean, your opponent fell out last second, then they rebook you. Fight week is already crazy enough in 2020, but after having that happen, does anything bother you anymore?
Nah, man, nothing bothered me before that. Nah, it's all part of the game. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss or not, but stuff happens. If I'm allowed to cuss, happens. Sh- it's how we live. You know what I mean? It's fight week. I'm here to fight anybody, so I don't really care. I'm hoping that the guy across the hall, however you say his name, the new 8-0 guy, everybody's all in love with. Oh shit, GM3 came up with some stuff last time, so if you come up with some stuff this time, guess what? I'm fighting twice. It is what it is.
I mean, that'd be quite the storyline. Let's talk about this. You're keeping quite the schedule in the pandemic. Does it ever catch up to you? I mean, that's a lot of staying in camp. It's a lot of fights. I mean, eventually you must feel like your body needs a bit of a break.
I mean, my body always needs a break, but pretty sure I'll retire at like 36 or something like that. So when we retire, we're going plenty of vacations and we'll be okay.
Does it feel like deja vu with your schedule? I mean, you're at the same hotel, you go back to the same venue, etc., etc.
Nah, it's almost like fighting locally again. When you fight locally, like I used to fight for this company called Extreme Knockout or something like that, right? So all their fights were in the same spot pretty much. So it's kind of like doing that all over again. You just get familiar with it. It's second nature. It's kind of like sparring in your own gym. It's freaking fantastic.
What does Darren Stewart bring to the table that makes him a dangerous opponent?
You know what, dude? Honestly, at first I didn't even know I was fighting Darren Stewart. They sent me a contract for Darren. I thought I was fighting Darren Till. I thought I hit the big show. But then all of a sudden I got the flyer and it was Darren Stewart and I was like, oh crap. So who knows? We're gonna find out Saturday night though.
How long did you think it was Darren Till?
Like a
Like
whole
how many
week, bro.
days?
Like about a week, probably like 7 days. I was so confused, bro. I was telling my grandparents, like, oh, I got a big fight. I got a big fight. Nah, it's just another fight. Oh man. He's a good guy though. Good guy, great guy to fight.
All right. Final question, man. What do you most want to show in this fight for yourself?
That's a good question. Man, you guys hit me with some good questions lately. For myself, I just want to show that I can keep getting these dubs, man. So, you know what I mean? Whatever the defense gives me, I'll take it, man. If he wants to grapple, we'll grapple. If he wants to strike, we'll strike. Man, if he wants to sit up there and hug each other for 15 minutes, we will not do that. So, let's figure it out, bucko. Let's figure it out.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Good luck.
Thank you, boss.
We'll go next to Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Ooh, sweet.
Hey, Kevin, this matchup with Darren, I asked him earlier, you like to have fun when you fight. You talk to your opponents. You kind of go in there and have a good time. And he actually said he loves it. He loves that. He said you guys might even do a mid-fight selfie. Do you enjoy fighting an opponent who actually wants to fight and isn't trying to trash talk? He just wants to go in there and have a great fight.
You know what? I had a feeling that this guy wanted to go in there and have a good time. So to hear that he really wants to go in there and have a good time, it sounds fantastic until we get in there and we start having a good time. Then all of a sudden it's a good time for one person, not a good time for the other person. And for me, it's always a good time. So we'll figure this out really, really quick.
I know there's been a lot of talk, since you come to the UFC about going back down and doing the welterweight thing. I know you mentioned the Mike Perry fight before. Obviously, these short notice opponents, I would imagine it's probably easier to fight at middleweight. But is that still something down the road you want to do welterweight again?
You know what, man? Me and Mike Perry, it's almost like me and Marvin Vettori right now. We got a relationship going on, man. These guys are my little boy toys. You know what I mean? I don't know which one I want to fight next. I don't know if I want to go fight Marvin Vettori or if I want to fight Mike Perry. The 170 conversation, it's still there. Some days my coaches love the fact that I'm trying to go to 70. Some days they hate it. I come into fight week about 194, 196 pounds. I'm not that big of a guy, but size don't matter, and I'll fight anybody and everybody. So 170 could be next. 170 might not never happen. I honestly I don't know, man. But I would love to beat up Mike Perry, and I would love to beat up Marvin Vettori. Other than that, I can't see too much further ahead.
I don't want to look past Darren Stewart anyway, but I mentioned Darren, he wants to have fun. He wants to have a good fight, but there is that little bit of rivalry there. You mentioned with Marvin and with Mike Perry. Would you rather have that? Like, is that kind of the fight you'd like to look forward to? Get that little bit of that rivalry building, guys who do talk trash, guys who've, kind of built up where, feels like you want to punch them a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, with Mike Perry, I mean, I don't know. It's something weird there, dude. I really want to, I want to hit him, but I don't want to hurt him. You know what I mean? I kind of like the guy a little bit. You know what I mean? He's fun. You know what I mean? Like, if you read our inbox messages, like, he's fun. He's fun. Like, he'd be trying to get like a little tough on there, and then I hit him with a good punchline, and he realized I hit him with a good punchline, so then he kind of like backs off a little bit. I don't know, it's fun. But Marvin Vettori, on the other hand, elbows and knees. Like, that's for sure what happened in the Marvin Vettori fight. Elbows and knees. Like, if he cuts me, fantastic. I get cut pretty much every fight these days. If I cut him, thank you. You know what I mean? If I bloody him up a little bit, lovely. You know what I mean? Mike Perry, it's kind of like, I don't like his attitude sometimes, but other than that, it's kind of a funny guy. Marvin Vettori, he's a snake. He's a dirty dog snake. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's what he is. He's a dog and he's a snake. I don't like that guy. Fuck him.
Last thing I want to ask you, Kevin, of course, your focus is on your fight, but we can't ignore there's a big main event on the same card here, Tyron Woodley and Colby Covington. I got to ask your opinion, man. Prediction, who do you think takes it?
Man, you know what? If you're betting, you might want to bet with Colby, right? Because like he's been doing pretty good lately. I mean, his last fight he lost to the champ, but it was a close fight until he got knocked. But I seen Dean Thomas in the bus when I was doing another interview with Mike Heck, and I was about to say Colby, and Dean got on my head. So I'm going for Tyron Woodley. You can cut that other Colby part out. I'm going for Tyron. I don't want Dean beating me up. I don't need no smoke. I don't want no problems with Dean. I'm going for Woodley. It's as simple as that.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. So, quick turnaround for you, but quick turnaround for your opponent as well. And you guys both fought and got finishes on the same card. Does that even things out, or does it matter more like what happens in the gym in between, even though, you guys both fought on the same night last month?
No, it all matters. It all matters. You know what I mean? A little chip on my shoulder because I think his finish was faster than mine. I know it was faster than mine. So we're going to go out there and we're going to figure it out this time. You know what I mean? We're going to go out there and get it done. We both got some quick turnarounds, but, ain't nobody don't turn around the way I turn around, Bucko, and I turn around real quick and get the job done. So let's do it.
Did you have any inkling like you'd be fighting like just over a month from now after that last fight, or were you game to do it?
Yeah, honestly, me and him were supposed to fight 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? My grandparents were coming into town, so I had to cancel on that. Sorry, Darren, but you know how it goes when the family's in town. Grandma and Grandpa, gotta do what they say. You know what I'm saying? But we're here. So we'll go ahead and knock this one out the ballpark. Baseball bats.
On paper, I think this is all the makings of, fight of the night or a performance of the night. But what do you think? I think this is...
I think two bonuses. I think two bonuses in a row sounds crazy. So let's just go out there, get a quick sub, so they don't give submission bonuses anymore, and go
home. But right now, I'm just loving the UFC middleweight division. It's probably one of my favorite divisions in the UFC right now. And I mean, you guys included. But what do you think of how middleweight is stacking up at the moment?
You know what? It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. But the top 15, got a lot of older guys in there. Got to get some of us young bucks in there. Got to change some things around. Keep matching us all young guys against young guys. Might want to match some of us young guys against the old guys. Give us some real good names. You know what I mean? Let us become a little something. That way it can really be juicy and beefy. I mean, you don't want to see the old. I love Yoel Romero to death. I mean, that's fantastic. But how many times you want to see him fight for a title? You know what I mean? How many times you want to see these same old guys going in there doing the same old thing? Plus, I want to be in the video game. I can't get in the video game unless we get these top 15. I see Marvin Vettori crying about top 15. These top 15 guys don't want to fight. Marvin Vettori put it best. They camping like snipers in Call of Duty. But it's okay, though, because they cannot avoid me.
We got action figures, too, now, Kevin.
Huh?
We got action figures too now. We need to get you an action figure. So keep racking up those bonuses. I hope we'll get an action figure from you.
That'd be pretty sick, man. I got a little man cave. I'll put it up in the little corner. I promise you I would.
Exactly. I have a feeling we'll be seeing you up in those rankings very soon. But thanks for your time and good luck with the matchup, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.